What?
You took a sock.
I want to be alone.
Get yourselves in those shorter lines.
Security thing is
Have your
open.
bags open, have your bags ready to go. If you have them open and ready to be inspected,
So here's the news. We watched the second installment of the Imagineering Story on Disney Plus last night because we're such company people. And it was very Epcot-centric. So as an example, that's something that wasn't there in 1982. But you know, it's nice that today's modern age, we've got all the conveniences. So anyway, we're trying to look at Epcot now through the lens of then. You know, all that went into the stuff that we saw that went into the decision-making process. Now the thing is that most of it's under construction now. You know, just like it was back then in 1980. So, I don't know how much of a lens of that we can look through these days.
Shut up.
Yes, no.
What?
Good old Epcot.
Good old Epcot.
Just like you remember.
Some of it, pieces of it, little bits and pieces. It's the nostalgia thing.
Yep.
You gotta like that.
You would think by now I would know better. I don't know why. I always feel the need to grab a Living with the Land Fast Pass for the first thing in the morning. There's no line. The unnecessary Fast Pass.
Wondrous patterns of our planet and the exciting potential for the future of living with the
We're number one.
But ironically, using the Fast Pass caused us to miss the boat.
That's funny. But we got front row, which you like.
I do like that.
Well, there you go.
Here, I'm nodding yes.
Where are we going? What are we gonna see? Regular fish. Regular fish. Not holiday fish. No more holiday fish.
Just saying, the holiday fish took their decorations down, you guys, so we haven't done so by now.
with miniature farming, you probably don't think of
You know, we've written this like 8,000 million times, and it just now hit me when he says some of our best ideas are inspired by nature. Shouldn't they all be? It's the land. So unlike Spaceship Earth, this is one of the original structures of Epcot from the beginning. So actually, yes, I know Jamie's going to flip off. Spaceship Earth is, of course, one of the original structures. So's the land, but guess what isn't an original structure at Epcot? And that's for real. This is not my fake news that I normally tell you guys. Yes, believe it or not, in 1982, there was no Seas, or at the time, Sea Base, as I understand it. But that was way before my involvement with Epcot. Yeah. No seas, no sea base. Now, obviously, there was no Nemo at the time anyway, but yeah, it was really weird to see they had something of an aerial view of Epcot in '82, and none of this. It was like, what? It was like land and then nothing. That was weird, because we're just so used to the seas being here, and yeah, no, it's as much as this seems like this has always been here from the beginning, no, it was not.
It's my worst nightmare. No, not the teenage girls. Okay, well, sort of. Butterflies, blah.
This is the only one that's small enough for me.
It's not canon.
Really?
Oh, that actually is.
Are you like a butterfly cat?
No, I'm a fly, a butterfly.
Oh.
Peel my nail off. We should watch Jeff Goldblum. Building.
This is new for 2020.
Two buildings, three buildings. What are you doing?
This is a shrine to the Egyptian god Cheops. This is also another shrine to the Egyptian god Cheops.
It's genius. All this wasted space, are you putting it to use? Nobody. I think he's over there.
Wasn't expecting to see so much Egyptian worship here, though. It's weird. You know, what with the pyramids and all. So where there was once Club Cool or Club Orange or Club anything else, now there's just nothing. However, there is new light poles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
look at the light poles. Those are awesome.
We don't normally pass this way. So these new light poles stretch off into the distance. Secret Starbucks that nobody knows about. All these people are cast members.
It's went from being freezing to so hot I took everything off to now I'm cold again. We just stopped at the new Starbucks location and I got an old favorite, an old friend. I got a white hot chocolate. These do not start, I'm telling you, do not start with these. They are so addictive and so delicious. I got a skinny one.
We got a Mickey tart,
It's a peanut butter, chocolate peanut butter tart.
and then I got a just regular coffee. Boring. So I got, this is the pike roast, by the way. I got a box of it at Marshall's, and my God, does it taste terrible. So I don't know what's going on with that, but yuck.
So there's the inside of the tart. Very peanut buttery. It's in here. It's very good.
That's new. Jamie was just ripping on me about all the lies I tell. Yeah, well,
What?
Jamie, foam is gross. Also, Jamie.
Shut up. It is gross. I'm trying to work it into the drink without spilling the drink.
Did you say you're doing that because there's no spoon? Mm-hmm. You heard it here first. There is no spoon.
I don't know what you're doing.
I thought they were piping in bird noises. I didn't realize they were actually up there. All right, so for some real news here. Play Zone's been rethemed again, this time to Wally. The thing is that they were saying that with Disney Plus, Disney finally has a treasure trove of data. Because people will say, oh, I love blah, blah, blah movie, and then, but how do they know? I mean, I'm thinking, well, you know by way of like what the box office was, but as movies age, it's harder to know like where people's heads at as far as whether or not they're really actually giving Wally any love or not. So apparently people have been watching Wally enough, I think, that they're bringing Wally back. They've been starting to kind of do that with the years before, like a couple years ago. But I've been seeing more and more Wally references kind of sneaking in. And how much of this can be credited or blamed to Disney Plus, I don't know, but just it's something to keep an eye on throughout the parks as time goes on. Like now that they do start to have all that Disney Plus data, like what starts to show up more.
Down for refurbishment. Not that I was going to ride it anyway, but I did not know. I don't pay attention. I don't pay attention to the rides. I pay attention to what food they're serving.
All right, so a couple of things on the tour of how things differ from 1982, like I would know. Test Track wasn't Test Track, it was World of Motion. So another one of those aerial shot things, they were showing the building, there was no test track, it was just the building. So the track itself was added whenever later. But as far as like what was happening on day one in 1982, no track around test track as it wasn't a test track at the time. This is actually factual knowledge. Yes? I was just telling you guys that test track wasn't there in its form as we know it in 1982.
No, it was World of Motion, and it was awesome.
What was the point of it? Since you
Each
couldn't
of the
test anything out.
Each of the pavilions was a place to learn something. So you learned about energy, you learned about motion, you learned about your imagination. And World of Motion, you sat in an Omni Mover, kind of like on Journey into Imagination, same kind of cars. And you went through the history of travel, motion. And it was really cool. It had some good songs. And if I hear them, they make me cry. And it was really cool. And they're right out front here was the first part of the ride, and you swirled up to the second floor, but it was like kind of outside. So I've got photographs somewhere at home that were taken from that spot, and every time I come across the photograph, I always go, oh, that was taken from the outside part of World of Motion. It was pretty cool. I bet you can find it on YouTube.
This, meanwhile, is the non-facade of the Space 220 restaurant that's coming soon. This was cinder block wall the last time we were here. I was wondering if they're going to do that sky blue thing that they like to do, but I guess because we're at a certain point in the horizon line, as shown by these hedges, they're doing what's called no see 'em green. Now, clearly we see them because we're looking right at it, but I think in the greater gestalt, if you're further back, then it just blends in to the background. But is there an actual facade for Space 220? Let's find out. Okay, so no facade for the restaurant as far as we can tell. Another thing we can tell is that back in 1982, this was not this. This was Horizons, was it not?
Horizons.
What was Horizons?
Horizons was an on-the-river ride where you all sat facing one direction and you had buttons in front of you, and it was the story of exploration and facing your horizons and what was over the horizon. And so they showed you a bunch of different scenes, and then at the end, for the final scene, you got to vote per car what you saw. And I don't remember how any of this was done. I do remember riding it with my niece and my nephew, and it was just the three of us, and my nephew never did figure out that he had control of two buttons, so my niece and I always won. Whichever one of us was the fastest. Because we would always vote for three different things. It was like sea, space, and land, I think were the three choices. And we would each vote for one of those. And then the fourth button would be sitting there, and Carrie and I would scramble for it, and Brett had no clue. He was probably sitting next to it.
Unlike the American Idol attraction, where part of the fun of it was to like vote 16 times down the row for whoever.
You never did that. You never once did that.
Okay, I voted like 2 or 3 times for people, but you could.
You didn't.
What? I've only voted, not to the extreme,
And that's
but
why it's gone.
yeah,
You ruined it
probably
for
just
everyone.
as well.
You ruined it for everyone.
American Idol's over. Singing shows are done. Nobody watches those. All right, Disney's hell-bent on making this very difficult, but back there is... I never say it right. I'm just going to continue to say it wrong. Body Wars.
Wonders of Life Pavilion.
Right. Now it's the Wonders of Construction Pavilion. It's at some point going to be a playground thingy. Kind of in the style of Ralph Breaks the Internet, I guess, but it's yet to be determined what's going to actually go on there. But whatever it is, it's going to be themed at the was and be playground-ish. But anyway, again, 1982, that was cornfield.
That was not there.
Yeah, it was really weird, again, to see that aerial photo. And
Not an original attraction. Not an opening day attraction.
but as for as old as that thing looks and all that, you just figure, oh yeah, here forever. No, forever could be like 1983 or something, but it was not a day one thing. 84.
Are you having fun just naming numbers?
And then somewhere in the distance is what was Universal Energy. That was an original. What?
Not Ellen though.
Not the Ellen version.
The Ellen version came along later. The original one was more dinosaur-y.
That was Ellen Burstyn.
Having fun.
Where's the proof? Which I guess is kind of a two-way street, really.
I need alcohol.
See again, is Disney Plus to credit or blame for that? Could be. I like the movie, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying.
I love this retro stuff. It's got a pocket on the back and then it's just an open pouch. I like that a lot. It's really cute.
New ones. Not that anybody asked, but we both just used the new Epcot bathrooms. So that's one small squirt for man, one giant leak for mankind. Once again, Epcot seems crowded, but I think it's because the showcase isn't actually open yet and people are more bunchy. There's not as many places for people to go.
That's possible.
Or it's really effing crowded, one or the other. Or both. Could just be a perfect storm of madness.
Quite frankly, this is the only reason we feel that the Festival of the Art exists. This is the almond frangipane cake at Pop Eats. It is amazing. It is an almond cake with a fudgy outside and then raspberry holding the layers together. So good.
Oh. Thank you. This is the way we bounty hunt early in the morning. Alright, I swear I'm not going to do this with all the pavilions, but Norway, not original to 1982. That's another weird one where it's like Mexico, China. And then a big old gap. And then gaps other places too.
It's not weird if your parents loved you and people took you to Disney World as a child.
Now this is a true story. When I was a kid, our exposure to Epcot was Dynamite magazine. There was a picture of Spaceship Earth, and honest to God, we thought Epcot was the ball. And they had a little investigative paragraph about what Epcot was going to be and what it was going to have in it and all that. And like, man, they crammed a lot.
All right, so I want to know, did you grow up at Disney? Did you grow up parks? Or did you grow up
Great America.
like him?
Oh, you're asking you guys. So you're asking me. Like, you know, I grew up with Great America.
Why would I ask you? Why would I ask you anything? I wasn't asking you.
Leave a comment if you know why she was asking.
Okay, so I got something at Home Depot of all places. It was a pack of these 3 carabiners. They're called S-clips. And we have a bunch of regular carabiners, and basically just use it to hook this one of my water bottles onto my, I guess it's called a fanny pack. But I thought I would give this a try. So I tried this today, and I really like it because you put the fanny pack strap in one, and you put the water bottle in the other, and it saves you from having to maneuver with just one big hook. And these are really, really fast. I like that you can put it back on with one hand. I realize I have 2 hands here. I also realize I'm caught in it. But, yeah, Home Depot. Who knew?
All right, so while we're reminiscing about 80s Epcot versus these days, I'm asking you guys, whoever you guys are, what Epcot attraction is no longer here that you miss the most? I'm trying to think of what mine is, as far as something that's not here anymore that I miss. Now, I have to reach all the way back to 2013. was my first trip. Epcot was my first park. So I suppose Maelstrom.
Oh, I know. Veggie, veggie, fruit, fruit. Veggie, fruit, fruit. Kitchen Cabaret.
I had no exposure to that.
No, Kitchen Cabaret. If they could bring anything back, that's what I would like. That and then the Imageworks, the Imagination playground thing. Yeah, the original one. My third choice is the World Showcase players.
Oh yeah.
You didn't even see them when they were really good. When they did more than one show.
They did 2 shows in my tenure.
Did they?
Oh God.
What?
I just stepped in food.
So what? It's not like I'm licking it. Come here, let me wipe my foot on you.
Vacation ruined.
Are you leaving me because I stepped in poop? Ooh, are those pretty flowers? Pretty flower.
All right, so newsflash, this guy painted this stuff. He got Darth Vader's portrait. It looks like the last thing he saw before he died. All right, so I'm not really bowled over with the food selection at the fest here. So I went to a good old Tangerine Cafe. So this is the kefta wrap with fries, and I've got a drink on my belt. And Jamie is off getting a funnel cake somewhere.
Hello. Okay, so I stopped for the peanut butter and jelly funnel cake sandwich, but she wasn't ready yet. So I went to France and did something else we've been wanting to do for a while. This is the Nutella crepe. And then I got ice cream on the side, because for some reason I thought it came with ice cream, and it does not come with ice cream. So I got ice cream, because I thought it needed ice cream. I'm going to keep saying ice cream for a while. Ice cream.
This is new. Alright, so while we're waiting for this Beauty and the Beast sing-along, I just realized I don't really remember any of the songs. So I don't think I'll be singing along. See if I can remember any of them. Beasts will grunt. Eggs will continue to cost too much. And Belle will be doing whatever Belle does in her village. Okay, now I'm ready. This is how Disney gets you. Get you all hopped up on Beauty and the Beast, and then bam, souvenirs. Yes.
So that was the Beauty and the Beast sing-along that we were not allowed to film in, but we partook upon. Mm-hmm. What did you think?
Well, I think that happened.
Why are you no fun ever? It was cute. They wiggled the story around a little bit. LeFou was quite prominent and quite comical, and I think they missed one opportunity. When he gets hit with the snowball, he should have turned into Olaf, but I get it wasn't Josh Gad's voice.
Yeah.
But if it had been, that would have been fantastic.
Well, wasn't he LeFou in the live action movie?
Yes. That's why that would have been fantastic, because then he would have been LeFou and Olaf. And then, like, as soon as I saw it, I thought, oh, they missed the opportunity. And then I thought, no, that's cross-pollinating things. And then the very next scene, they cross-pollinate. But I can't remember what they did.
Yeah, one thing was, like, it really did bug me that it was so massively retconned, and then it's about halfway through it.
Wait,
they
I don't know
reveal
what retcon means.
Retroactive continuity, where you go back and change things about the story. Like, oh, well, here's what really happened.
Well,
Like, no, that's not what really Could have been.
Could have been.
It's not canon.
Could have been. We don't know.
But they make it clear about midway through that this is something like made as a theme park feature. Like, okay, all right.
How?
Now that it's halfway through it, now I'm getting the joke here.
How?
When he said about what's a churro.
Oh yeah, maybe that was it.
Yeah.
Maybe that was what.
And then the other one was they cut out the expectorating in the Gaston
Well, they
song.
weren't doing full songs.
Well, but I just think that they deliberately did it so people weren't going tooey and spitting all over each other. So
Okay, I didn't
instead,
even
we
notice.
showed them. We just used handlers in all of our decorating instead. So ha ha.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
But there was another Disney character that appeared. What was it?
I don't recall.
I don't either, but it was right after I thought they missed the chance to do Olaf. They showed another Disney character from another Disney movie, and I'm like, they should have done it. They missed this. They missed it.
I don't remember what that was or where the scene would have been.
I don't either, but I'm sure we'll see this again. Maybe not alone or anytime soon, but I think it would be good for kids. Our grandson the only part of Frozen that he liked was the cartoon parts, and this was all cartoon. He didn't like the story parts of the sing-along, but this was all cartoon. So I thought immediately he would have liked this better. I have no idea if he's seen Beauty and the Beast. If he has not, his parents are not doing a very good job, in my opinion.
Yeah, Meg.
But, you know. So before he gets here next year, Beauty and the Beast.
Yep.
Anything else?
Nope.
I liked it. Did you like it?
Once I got the joke, I liked it better. But I really was sitting there like, ooh, retconning, I hate you. And it's like, okay, all right. Okay. It's a made-up nonsense feature. I got you.
Yeah. Holy cow. Okay, so much has happened since we last saw you. We did everything was fabulous.
Do we need any other dipping sauces or anything, folks?
I'm okay. You need anything else?
I'm gonna grab you guys some food.
Thank you. So we got out of the Beauty and the Beast thing. We went over to we went over to Canada and did the new Canada movie, the 360.
You mean the 330? There was parts where they just had like a line.
Did they?
They didn't even go the full wrapper.
Oh, I never even noticed
Yeah.
that. Interesting. Anyway, we miss Martin Short. As much as I like Eugene Levy and Catherine O'Hara, there was no comedy. There was no humor.
They never appear on screen.
They never appear on screen. And if I did not know it was them talking, I would have never figured it out. It didn't even sound like them. They were so flat.
Even though Ty Burrell kind of gets annoying, it's at least he's got a little more range.
Yes, he gets
And
excited
you
about
know
everything.
it's him and all.
Yes, he gets excited about everything.
Yeah.
He did the Awesome Planet over at the land.
And the Colortopia.
Yes. So then we went and looked at 2 apartment complexes. One was ridiculously expensive for what you got. The other one we think is it. We think we found where we're going to live. So we're very happy, and we are now at General Public House in Winter Springs to have a celebratory dinner. So I have the honey something chicken.
Honey baked chicken, I think.
No, it
Or
wasn't
was
that.
it just honey chicken?
No, it was honey something chicken.
Honey fried?
That was it. Honey fried chicken with mac and cheese, and this is the only place I will eat Brussels sprouts. I will prove it.
And I took down my tower here, but I have the chicken and waffle tower, and she's eating Brussels sprouts.
And for dessert, peanut butter pie. This stuff is to die for. Really, really good. I love how the whole back just kind of fell off.
How about this?
No!